Hi guys, how are y'all doing? Welcome back to my channel. In this video I am going to teach you all how to cut and sew this beautiful boo gown. Okay, so keep watching, and if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do well to subscribe, like, share and comment on my videos. Alright, let's get started. So after placing my material into two places, cutting out the selvage end, I have to place my tape on a straight line like this. Next thing is to determine the length of the front piece of the gown, because the front piece stopped at the knee length, so we are going to stop at the knee, which is 40 inches. Then we divide my shoulder circumference divided by 2. I marked, which is 8, plus sleeve length, which is also 10. Next thing, I came down by 2 inches for the shoulder slope. Okay, so on the opening of the sleeve, I came down by 10 inches for the sleeve opening. Then the next thing is to determine my bust point, and I divided my bust circumference by 2 and I added 2 inches seam allowance. So next, but I made a mistake here. I'm supposed to use my hip circumference to mark, or because it's a free gown, I'm supposed to use the largest part of my body, which is my hip. So I'm going to use my hip circumference now. So my hip circumference divided by 4 plus 2 inches allowance, that's what I used there. Then I used it all the way to the down part of the gown, we stopped at the knee length. So I use my hip circumference divided by 4 plus 2 inches, then I connect them together. Then for my pocket, I came down by 16 inches, which is at the waist point. Then I gave a curve like this. So guys, we are done with the front piece. We are now going to cut out. I added extra ½ inch at the down part for the folding of the front piece. Then I gave a curve. Please, the opening of that pocket is 7 inches. Okay, the opening of the pocket is 7 inches, in case you forgot. So after you mark your 16 inches, you come down by 7 inches, then you close the pocket. So I'm cutting out the excesses now. So once I'm done, I'm not going to do anything on the front piece again. I'm just going to curve the shoulder point, which I just did. So I'm going to use this front piece to cut out the back piece right now. So I'm pinning it down so that it will not shift or do anything until I'm done cutting the back. Okay, so guys, for the back, here is the back. I placed my front piece at the back piece. The back is going to be longer than the front piece. Okay, so the back is going to be my full length. So my full length is 58 inches. So that is what I'm going to mark now. So 58 inches right now. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to figure out now. So I'm marking 58 inches. So next thing I'm going to do now is to cut out following the lines of the front piece, and also cut the pocket size. And Bikono, forgive me, I always tie my wrapper. I sew from home. Bikono, I don't even know, I will not even remember. After I'm done making videos, I will remember, oh, I even tie wrapper in this video. So guys, so for the neck opening, I'm going to come down by 10 inches for the front piece. Then I go in by 3 inches for the wideness of the neck. Then I'm going to connect the lines together like a V-neck. Okay, in a V shape. I'll connect it in a V shape. For the back, I came down by 1 inch for the back neck depth. I'm going to cut out for the back first, then cut out for the front second. So once I'm done, that is for our neck. Next thing we are going to do right now is to cut out the fringes. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, the next thing is to cut out the back interfacing. The interfacing is going to face the front. It's not going to be your normal interfacing, because we have a fringe at the back. So it's going to face front and not inside. So I'm going to mark 9 inches. Remember, our shoulder divided by 2 is 10, is 8 inches. So I'm going to add extra 1 inch for the folding of the interfacing, because we're still going to fold this inside. So the interfacing is going to stop at the 8 inches. Okay, but I marked 9 inches here for the folding. So look what I'm doing here. Just take a look at what I'm going to do here now. I'm cutting out the salvage end of the material. Is not needed, so I'm cutting out the 9 inches. I mark 9.5 because you need to always add allowance in everything you're doing. So next thing we're going to do is to cut out the shape of the neck. Okay, the shape of the neckline. So I'm cutting it out right now. So after cutting it out, I'm going to open the front piece of the material right now. Okay, the back piece, and I'm going to sew it. This is the wrong side of the material. You're going to place it right side facing the wrong side. Then you sew like this, then fold it back, iron it, and we'll do what we are supposed to do there. So after we are done, this is what we have. But now I remember that it's not even necessary to fold because we are still going to have a placket there. We are still going to have a placket there. So if you want, you sew it just directly on the front piece of the material. It will be like this, okay, without folding or turning it over, because we are still going to add placket. I thought I was not going to add any placket, but I remembered, let me just start the placket from the back. Okay, this is just a gown I'm making for myself. I did not even have any idea, or just, I know it's a bubu gown, but at a point I started adding all these things. But I want to show you guys how I made it. That's why I'm recording it, because my channel is all about bubu gown, and whenever I'm making bubu gown, I'll always post it. So I'm pinning the front piece and the back piece here, and I'll join the two sides together like this. This is the placket now. Okay, so I'm going to, the length of the placket I'm going to use 31 inch. So the wideness is just 2.5 inches. So I'm going to place it like this at the back, and I'm going to, so this is the reason why I said at the back you don't need to fold it like I did, because I thought it will not have a placket at the back. But you see, so when you are doing yours, just sew it straight like that. So I'm done placing it. As you can see, this is what we have. The length is 10 inches. So let's move over to the down part of the gown. We are going to start with the front. I'm going to fold in the front piece. Remember, the length of the front piece of the gown is 40, but I'm going to fold it down to 39 inches here. So after folding it in, I'll place the fringe, the Ankara fringe that I made. I'm going to be placing it one by one. You see what I did here. So after folding it by 39, I had to iron it down. So I'm going to sew on it, but first off, I'll show you what I'm going to do at the back of the camera. So I'm going to be giving 2 inches space. 2 inches space, I'll put the Ankara. 2 inches space, I'll put the Ankara. 2 inches space, I'm just pointing it down for you guys. 2 inches space, I'll put the Ankara. 2 inches space, because the Ankara's wideness is 1 inch. Okay, the wideness of the Ankara is 1 inch, so I'm giving 2 inches space. The Ankara is 12. I make sure it's 12 in number here. So I'll bring the Ankara now. This is the Ankara now. The Ankara fringe I made is 1 inch in width. See, 1 inch in width, and then length it's 22 inches in length. Okay, I want it to be touching the ground while I'm walking. So I will be placing it like this, one on the first point like this. I'll sew on it. On the second point I'll sew, and here I'll sew again. I'll sew again. I'll sew, just like that. I'll just be placing it like this until I finish the 12 inches, the 12 lines that I marked. So once I'm done, I will move over to my machine and I will sew on them. Then we'll come back and show you what we will do on the back of the gown. Okay, because the back of the gown also have a fringe. That's the style of this bubu gown. So let's move over to the machine and do what it's meant to do. Okay. So for the back, this okay, for the after doing everything, this is what we have. Okay, so this is what we have. Then let's move over to the back now and do what we're supposed to do at the back. So for the back, remember we have a placket. Is it an interfacing that we brought out at the back? So I'm going to sew the two sides of the placket where I'm pinning. I'm going to sew it straight like this, and I'll sew this side again straight, and then mark the places that I'm supposed to put the fringe on. Okay, so this is my fringe. I'm going to be placing it one by one. I'll also put a mark. This mark again, I think is it going to be 2 inches? Yes, let's make it 2 inches. So first off, the first mark is going to be at the beginning. The second mark 2 inches apart, 2 inches apart. It's going to be 12 a number. Okay, it's going to be 12 again in number, 2 inches apart until we get to the end. So about 12 in number. So I'm going to be placing it. These are the fringes for the back. They are longer. Okay, so I'm going to be placing it on the points that I marked down like this. Then I'll close up the opening like this, like this, like this. This is just the style of this bubu. I saw this style on Instagram a long time ago. Then I was just planning on what to wear to go for a friend's wedding. Then I remembered, okay, there is one style I saw, one crazy style like that I saw on Instagram. Let me just make it. So in case you're wondering where I brought this style from, hey, my dear people, this is just the life of a fashion designer, a tailor. Just be sewing any style that comes to your mind. So I'm just going to sew it now, and I will show you what it looks like after I'm done sewing on them. So I shaped the two sides of the gown. Okay, close the pocket. This is not a new thing to you guys. You already know, because this is not my first bubu gown. I've been making so many bubu gowns, and I have shown you how to shape the two sides of the bubu gown. Okay, so this is the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Okay, see you guys in my next video. Remain blessed. Bye.
You and me, it was all that I needed not to die.